And welcome to another edition of Unexplained Cases Medium. Happy Sunday afternoon to everybody. Oh no, where's your audio? Wow. Now, see, now that's ridiculous. That's after all this talk. That's it. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. You're stuck with me now. So, in this particular case, this should be really entertaining. No, this is hey Michael, hey Kimberly, also hey Linda, welcome. So, all right, let's try this again. Are you there now?
Can you hear me? Please say yes.
Yes, indeed. You know, it's that's kind of like just 101 right there. You know, and it's just like, and you were there before, so you know,
I was.
technology just rocks. It's so awesome. See, but you know, it's great when it works. Hey, Renee, Stephen, Danielle, thanks so much for joining us today. Appreciate everyone being here. So, you know, we're just talking about a crazy week. So, you know, how I was going to say, how other than crazy, how's your week been?
I don't know if anyone can feel it, but the energy is definitely changing. I would say on a planetary level, and if you're sensitive to it, you'll feel it because it affects your personal life, it affects your work life. You'll notice some changes. I would say more people are experiencing change than stagnation, which is interesting because there is this sense of quarantine, yet there's a lot of changes and a lot of movement in many different directions. So yeah, that's what I was feeling this week.
Wow. Well, I can certainly say there's been a lot of changes in the traffic patterns because getting out yesterday, there was a redonkulous amount of people that were out. I was just like, quarantine what? I mean, it was just like a normal Saturday around.
No kidding.
So I was, and we don't necessarily get out too much, but I was like, that's just like, wow, craziness right there.
Isn't that, it's a trip when because you haven't seen it in so long, and then you're like, what?
Exactly. Let's see. Hey, Kimberly, welcome. So we got quite a few folks that are in the old chat. Appreciate it. So just to kind of get a little ground rules for folks, especially if you're new or even if you've been here before, as we've always say, please be sure and drop in a single question into the comments. No need to ask, can I have a reading or anything like that? Just go ahead and put it in there. We will get to that in the order that they come in. But we also have quite a few fun things to be able to share with you because, of course, this being Unexplained Cases, hopefully you're familiar with our live program, which is tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific. And we'll be doing something a little unique this evening. It will be a first time that we're tackling this. And so we'll actually go to Darren Dito and let him explain what's on tap for tonight.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Darren Dito from Unexplained Cases Live. I want to tell you about our show that is coming up on Sunday night. It is a big one, a crazy one, a huge one. You don't want to miss it. We're going to do a collaboration, a live remote investigation with Mr. Patrick McQuarrie from the haunted side. That's right. He's going to go back to the Truckee murder house, a place he's investigated many times, gathered some just incredible evidence, but this time he'll be doing it live on Unexplained Cases Live. Rick and I will be back in the studio, and Maryam's going to be remote viewing the location to let him know who or what is haunting it when he is there live on our show. It's going to be must-see television. Remember, as always, it is going to be Unexplained Cases Live. It is 7 o'clock on the West Coast, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. We will see you then.
Thank you, Mr. Dito. So that's tonight. Hope everyone will be able to join us for that. Stephen from North Carolina, welcome. We also, I see Irene and Cindy, Mike. Let's see, what else we got? Regina, Renee, and Mort, and Michael, and Amy, and Courtney. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate you being here.
Can I add one more thing for those of you that are submitting questions? Do me a favor, if you're your, what's it called, Rick? The handle or their screen name, or so when they're
the profile pic.
profile pic.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you can have your picture in the profile, and if your name isn't your actual name, type in your name so I can have your full name with the question. I work off of eyes, photos, names. So the more you can give me in that respect, the better and more accurate. And for some of you, I'll say, hey, email me and I'll read it next week, because I need a little bit more. I need that picture. I need that name. Okay.
Absolutely. We'll move on to our first segment of the hour.
All right, let's start. I want to start with our meditation. Short meditation to really help you all tap into your intuition so you can pick the card and you can send me whatever information I need to know and pass that off to you. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale through the mouth. One more. Inhale, deep breath. This time, hold it at the top. Hold. Exhale through the mouth. Keeping the eyes closed. I want you to focus on the breath. I want you to consciously slow the breath down. I want you to also hold the breath at the top for just a second and then hold the breath at the bottom for just a second. What I want you to become aware of is completing a full inhale to its capacity and then a full exhale to its capacity. So really taking a long time to inhale. Hold it for a minute, release all the way down. Hold it at the bottom. Continuing this slow inhale through the nose. Holding for a moment at the top. Exhale through the mouth. Holding at the bottom. Two more. Really allow the belly to expand. Really allow the belly to pull in. So allowing the belly to move with the breath. We're not consciously holding that belly in. We're allowing it to expand. All right. Open your eyes. I'm going to do something a little different this time. We're going to use 3 different decks. How do I want to do this? That way. Card 1. No. Card 1. Card 2. Card 3. Again, card 1, 2, 3. One more time. Card 1, card 2, card 3. All right, keep that breath deep. Stay connected. All right, let's look at what we got here. Card 1. Just shuffling your deck for a minute, getting a feel for who's out there. What do you all need to know? What do your guides want you to know? What is important for you to know? What can I bring you that's going to shift and change where you're at? Bring you to where you want to be, bring you to where you need to be. All right. So for card one, there's a lot of frenetic energy around you, anxious energy around you. This is either, for some of you, it's coming from you, but for some of you, it's around you. And this energy is aggressive, strong, but I use aggressive lightly. I don't mean the energy is bad. I just mean it's really, the energy is really coming at you. This is, for some of you, it's coming from a person. For some of you, it's coming from a job. What I need you to do is manage this energy. You can feel it. You can feel the stress. You can feel the anxiety. You can feel the anxiousness. So because you can feel that, you have to be the one to manage that. So how do you do that? Daily meditation practice. You hear me say it all the time. But when you're in, you'll have your daily practice that'll ground you. And then when you are in that energy space, the breath, the breath, the breath, that is what's going to help you manage the chaos around you. This chaos can be family, this chaos can be work. Don't put judgment or labels on where this crazy energy is coming from, because it's coming from all kind of all different places. For each of you, it's a little bit different. And sometimes we think, oh, my family can't be giving me crazy energy, I love them. No, people give crazy energy, whether family or not, right? Work. So there, you have to manage this energy. And if you manage this energy, you're going to find that life balances, calms. You need to make a decision very soon. There's a big decision you need to make, and you may already know it or you don't already know it. It's coming. For those of you that already know, you have a big decision you need to make. You can't have all this chaos around you. And I know some of you are going, well, I know it's not my fault. Well, what is your fault is how you manage or not manage the chaos around you. So it is up to you to manage that chaos. I can't take it away. You can't take it away. So you have to manage yourself within it. So you rise above the chaos and you let everything, all that craziness happen down here, and you're up here. You're seeing it from a higher perspective. You're also seeing it without judgment, without emotion, because you have somewhere else you need to be. So for card one, what we're getting is learning how to manage and calm the energy around you, learning that it is your responsibility because you feel it. Other people don't feel it, so they aren't aware. They can't do anything about it. Okay. It's also about a big decision that's going to be coming up for you, or that's already here, that you need to make. And you need to be able to rise above this chaos so that you can make this decision, right or left, right? And I'm sure some of you are asking, I know, which way do I go? Which way do I go? I can't make that decision for you. You have to find that center, find that balance, find that quiet so you can make this decision. It's really important, though, that you all make the decision from the heart, not from a perspective that says what's safe, what's normal, what's supposed to be okay, if others will approve. This decision you all have has to come from the heart. It has to come from a place that only you can understand, and that only you know is ultimately what's right for you, even if it goes against the norm, even if it might hurt people. Now, if you're making a decision from the heart, when you hurt someone else, it's not because you have made conscious bad decisions, unless, I'm assuming none of you are consciously wanting to hurt anybody. But when we make decisions from the heart and they hurt others, it's because that other person just isn't ready to see that it's time for this relationship to break or to end, whether it's friends, family, whatever. And so you can't not make changes in your life because you're afraid it's going to hurt somebody else. If you're making changes from the heart, if you're making choices from the heart, from compassion, that ultimately isn't hurting anybody, it's just asking that other person to accept the change, then you have to go through with this decision. You have to move forward with it. You can't let others be the reason why you don't do it. There's repercussions with every decision we make, and so we want to make sure we are controlling, to as much as we can, our decision making. And how we control that is through meditation, not through the mind saying, what do I need? What do I need? But through meditation, so that you have that subtle intuitive guidance bringing you to where you want to go, telling you what you need. You guys really need that right now because you've got chaos around you and you've got big decision to make, okay? Card 2, should say deck 2. Let me see what we got for deck 2. For some reason, I'm seeing flowers. Is anyone a florist or a painter, artist? Someone have a garden going? I'm seeing flowers, family, and travel. Some of you have been having concerns or worry about family, concerns or worry about health, concerns or worry about almost like divorce or breakup within the family. That's going to resolve itself. Don't worry. That's not going to be life altering. I mean, learn from whatever you're experiencing. That's important. And I feel like that's a given, but I'll say it. Learn from it, but know that it's going to be okay. For some of you, I feel like some of you are like on the verge of breakup or divorce or separation of some sorts within a family. And you shouldn't have to do that. They're saying it's important that you acknowledge that as an option so that you're open to all options. It'll help heal, but you may not need to go there. And yeah, so for family, you're going to see your family coming back together, feeling closer again, supportive again. But that break that happened, the fight that happened, it was really important that it did. And I hope you all said honest things to each other so that there's nothing more that's being held back. Travel. Some of you guys I'm seeing Paris in particular, France. It's time to travel. It's time to do that as soon as obviously you're allowed to travel again safely. It's time. It's time. If you've been thinking about doing it, do it. If you've been wanting to, do it. For some of you, it feels like there may even be a job overseas. It may be a remote job, but it feels like a job overseas of some sorts. It's actually a good job for you. This is about travel, moving, changing. Also in card 2, it's about opportunity. You've had this, you've been moving towards your goal. September is when you're going to start to see some movement, some significant change, significant movement, significant options, choices for you. So you want to make sure that that you are open to these changes and opportunities and you see them. I say open because some of you are getting caught up in kind of petty disagreements, petty not misunderstandings, but just seeing things differently. And don't get caught up in that because it's going to affect the opportunities that come your way. You may not see them because you're closed-minded to them. Make sure, card 2, you don't shut yourself off to opportunity. You tend to say no first before you give something a full look. I want you to start to say yes first and then look at your pros and cons, but get in the habit of saying yes first because no is a blocked word. It's not that we shouldn't use it, but it's blocking you and you use it to block and like support and protect. That way, if something goes wrong or something doesn't happen, you can say, well, it wasn't my fault. I said no, or I said this, I said that. But that's a false sense of not responsibility. That's a false sense of not committing. That's falsely telling yourself, oh, it wasn't my fault. Instead, take responsibility. And yeah, you're going to make mistakes. Things are going to be your fault, but a lot of great things are also going to come from it. Meaning, once you get better at saying yes and jumping off that cliff, you're going to see that you make more good decisions than bad decisions. But you are going to make quote unquote bad decisions. So own them. We all do. Who cares? But you're going to make more good ones because you're giving yourself the opportunity. Card 2, this is just about finding balance again. And with family, with friends, and it's like you've come through a hard time and you're finding that balance, and now you can go, okay, what now? What feels good? Like you can focus on what feels good. Traveling, friends, like just enjoying life for a bit in September, and just and for those of you that are watching, it's not September, it's the current month we're in now. But it's time for you to enjoy that rough patch is gone, and healing has now come and gone, so that you can enjoy again. Card 3, pile 3. Let's see. Some of you are really emotional over, is it a husband? We've had some death in deck 3. Some of us have lost. Some of us have lost and are feeling alone. Feeling like you're going through this transformation of understanding kind of who you are and why you're here, but you're doing it by yourself, and you were hoping to do it with a partner, and that partner's not there anymore. And that's really painful. I really feel that. I'm really sorry that you're going through that. And you are going to be alone for a while, because it's the best thing for you. It's what's right, but it's not going to be for long. Next year, you're going to be in a partnership again. Don't worry. And for some of you that have lost, I'm feeling death. You're ready. And I say you're ready, meaning today or next year, in 2 years. I'm just letting you know that I'm being told that you're ready to love again. You're ready to smile again, to be happy again, to be in partnership again. There's a lot of healing that went on. There's a lot of healing that still has to happen. The vulnerability, the loneliness has been a lot. The death, whether it's been actual death or metaphorical death, has been real painful. Really important. It was really needed. Make sure that you have learned from it. You come out of that stronger. A lot of emotional baggage that's being cleared, being let go of. This is a time for you of discovery. These next few months, it's about discovery. It's about discovering you. It's about trying new things. It's about meeting new people. It's about accepting the fact that your life is never going to look the way it did before, and that's a beautiful thing. And for some of you who have lost, I can feel that that those beings are around you, and they're encouraging you to step out and try something new, something different. Your beings are asking you to find joy again. That's what this is going to be about for you guys. So these next few months, there's still some growth, still some change, but 2021 is going to be a really great opportunity. No, 2021 is going to be a great year for you. You're going to feel alive again. You're going to feel joy again. You're going to feel good again. And when I said 2021 was going to have opportunity, I wanted to step away from that word, because it's not opportunity. It's where you will be. It's what you will be experiencing. Healing, continue to heal, continue to be alone, continue to allow yourself to feel vulnerable. That's exactly where you need to be right now. All right. What's next?
Well, next up, we've been talking about it for a little bit, so I guess it's a new segment for folks who aren't familiar with your work, since it's new and we haven't actually featured it before. Any little tidbits or antidotes?
Today we have Jack, who has some serious issues, and we're going to help him out. If you guys would like to have a pet reading, you can email me and we can set it up for upcoming shows.
Awesome. So let me go ahead and share this.
So this is Jack, and he was returned to the Humane Society 3 times before he was adopted out by his family. Each time he was returned to a different Humane Society. So Jack's issue is this: he's scared when he goes on walks on a leash, or if they have something in their hands. If they're carrying something else or they're taking out the trash, he gets really scared. Also, sometimes he doesn't want to go out to go potty. When they go to get the leash, he starts to lay down and doesn't want to move. We have to pick him up and carry him down, even if we know he has to go potty. Okay, so we've got a lot going on with poor little Jack. Let me take a look. Jack's got a I don't know if this kitty friend is if Baloo is a male or female, so I'm sorry. But he has a kitty that he lives with. She's so cute. I love doing pet readings. All right, let's figure out what's going on with Jack. So what I'm doing, I'm looking down right now. So I'm looking at the computer. I'm looking at my photos of Jack, and I'm going to try and talk to him. Oh, Jack. Okay, so Jack is Jack feels like he was on the streets for a certain amount of time. Like I'm seeing him just running loose, like running in circles, running anxious. Even then, he was scared to death of people. He was pulled away from his litter. There wasn't a connection to his litter mates and his mother. And so there's just this like running and spinning dog left to fend for itself and can't find food, can't find support, can't find camaraderie. And the humans that were around him did not take well to him. His personality is already one that's a little gruff. Like he'd be like that gruff grandpa that everyone says, oh, you gotta love him, even though he's kind of a pain in the ass. That's kind of, Jack's personality is already a little rough and tumble and gruff. And so people, unfortunately, humans, if an animal isn't warm and cuddly and snuggly to them right away, a lot of times humans won't pay attention, and it actually creates this disconnect, which gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what Jack was experiencing. And so he was just a loner. He was just by himself, struggling to figure life out. This is only his second time around in body. So this was a really, really hard start for him. You got to be patient with him, guys. This carrying stuff in your hand will eventually change. They're saying 2 to 3 years it may take. This trust that has to be built is going to take a while. He's saying that he's had things thrown at him, and so that's why when things are in your hand, there's that fear. Um, going to potty. The outside. What's interesting is he's saying the transition for him, inside to outside, is hard for him. Transition. So they keep showing me him living on the streets, just spinning in circles, lost. Not good at fending for himself, not good at taking care of himself. That just doesn't come in his nature. And so when you're asking him to transition, it's very hard for him. This isn't a dog that should really go a lot of places for the first few years that you have him, because he just needs to learn structure, and trust, which means doing these things like carrying something in your hand while you bring him down for a walk. Live your life so that he learns that that's okay. But also, it's important for you guys to have the intuition to know when it's too much for him. If he's had a busy day or there's been too much going on, maybe don't carry that thing down in the hands, because that pushes him over the edge. It's too much for him. He can handle that kind of practice, learning how to adjust to that when there's nothing else different in his day. I know that a new baby was brought into the family. That can be a stress on him as well, because it's new, it's change, it's different. Even though you think it's a positive change, even though it feels good, for him, change is very hard. He needs a daily practice, just like we do. He needs that daily practice of structure. He's saying if you can Learn to walk him and then bring some treats to teach him to sit. Walk, walk, walk a few minutes, stop, sit. Structure. He wants to know that he doesn't have to run in circles anymore, that you've got this. And you showing that to him is through training, and walks and training and walks and doing those together and practicing these scary moments when it doesn't overstress him. He is going to pull out of it. It could take, they're saying, 2 to 3 years. They're saying around 5 years. I'm not sure if that's it feels like 5 years from when you adopted him is when you're going to see a different dog. You're going to see him really just be much more well adjusted, and just the dog that he wants to be. Yeah, that's going to take some time. But he went through hell before he found you. And then once he found you, there was a lot of changes that happened in your lives. They're saying once he found you. And so he went through more changes. And so the stress upon stress upon stress upon stress, he needs a year or two of just basic, simple structure with not a lot of changes. That going from indoors to outdoors to potty is scary for him. It's scary. He doesn't know if he's going to be left out there. He doesn't always want to be out there again. He's kind of had it with the outside world with his past experiences. So he needs to have more experiences outside that are positive, and nurturing for him to eventually realize that that's a good place to be and that it's okay to go in and out like that. And I know that you had his kitty, Baloo. I wanted to look at them together just to see before I close out here. They like each other. They're still learning to understand each other, but they're actually the more Jack calms down, the more those two are going to really get along. They actually like each other. They're going to get along really well. Right now, there's this kind of not understanding each other, and a little bit of a dominance issue happening, but nothing to be concerned of. And it's something that they're saying they can work out on their own. But they actually have a nice love for each other already. So they're on the right track. Okay.
Great. Considering the time, might need to call an audible as far as with the length of the case. Shall we could go into the case, but that would certainly need to push a little bit later, or we just may have to not get to the case today.
Okay, well, we can do two things. One is we'll obviously do readings. That's why everybody's here, right? But also, remember, was it last week we did the house that had the 2 kids in it? Was that last week? Shannon?
Yes.
Because she emailed me and asked me, she said she wanted, so for those of you that didn't watch last week we had a guest who had, she was having a lot of paranormal activity in her home. So I went into her home and we found that there was these 2 children that were living there. And I had asked her at the time, hey, are you okay with them being there? And she said, yeah, that's fine. But since then that's changed. They're a little, they're a little tired of these creatures, if you will. They're little kids, but they're spirits and they're running around and they're causing havoc. And so she wants me to have them move on. So what I want to just share with everybody is this. It's important that you understand I can move these beings on. But if your home is still open to other energies entering it, something else or someone else will just enter. And I know that in this situation, we wanted to make sure that house was saged, that house was cleaned and cleared, not just from that energy, but energies that they brought in. That family that currently lives there is struggling with a lot of loss. They're struggling with sadness, and there's a big heaviness in that home. And so it's so important that you clear the space, clear the house like we talked about, because I can remove these 2 little beings, but if you're not careful, another being's just going to come in and take its place because you allow it to, and because your energy is vulnerable to that. So for everybody out there, it's about you protecting your own space in your own home. And not protecting it in a big, bad, scary way, but just saying, hey, I'll allow beings in when I want them. Just like you don't have your neighbors come trampling through your house without you saying, sure, come on in. It's the same thing with spirits, right? Make sure that who's there, you're both cool with them being there. These little kids, actually, I remember when we did the reading, I remember saying their parents were right there and were kind of scolding them. I don't feel like those are really their actual parents as much as it was more guides that were basically saying, hey, you can stay in this space until you're told otherwise, and they're being told otherwise. So I'm going to ask that these little spirits move on. For those of you that are watching, I would encourage you to use your intuition to just close your eyes and feel these two young, they're like 5 to 7, maybe a little bit age range. Feel their energy, just feel these youngsters that are playing around in this home. And I'm going to call in their guides, and I'm going to ask them to remove them from the space. I'm going to ask these beings to come down. We spoke with these guides before. They came in the form of parents. I'm going to ask you to take these little guys. They're no longer needed in this space. They're no longer welcome, and move them along. So for those of you who are feeling this at home, just go with what your gut's telling you, go with what you're feeling. Some of you might see, but wrap these beings in light and love, feel and see. Their angels are right there. This is super easy. The guides are coming down, scooping them up. Boom, they're gone. That was easy. And the reason why this one was easy is because these kids were not unhappy. They weren't struggling. They weren't suffering. They were just hanging out. So, and because the people that lived in that home were okay with them being there, they stayed because no one asked them to leave, right? So those little ones are gone. So now it's about making sure that your home is clear and clean of loss, of sadness. It doesn't mean you won't have loss and sadness. It just means you're going to clear the old stuff so you can continue to heal. But know that, other beings can enter that space if you're not aware and not managing it correctly. Okay, here we go. Questions. Let's do this. I'm going to start with, I had 2 questions rolled over from yesterday. Yeah, last Sunday was yesterday, from last week. So Brianna was one of them. She wanted to look at her career. She asked me the question. I asked her to send a picture. I needed some more information on her psychically, which I get through the eyes. So I have Brianna's picture here. Did you happen to see her, Rick?
So out of your list, Brianna was the only one that I had noticed that was in chat that I confirmed.
Oh, good. Okay, great. So then after Brianna, we'll just go to whoever's in the chat. Brianna. So Brianna wants to know about her career, and it's starting off a little slow. Well, first off, I mean, it's fair to say we all know why it's a little slow. We've got COVID going on, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for you. So Brianna, for you, key is personality and self-esteem. They want that to come out. There's a part of you that's holding back, and they want that personality to come out. That personality you have is big, but you're for some reason you're reserved with it. I don't know if you had maybe siblings that kind of overpowered you, situations growing up where you were told to be timid, or it wasn't okay to be kind of loud and obnoxious. They're saying they want you to get loud and be bigger, and not be afraid to show that and share that and express that. And on your social media, they're saying to turn to social media and start putting on social media, if you haven't already, who it is you want to be and who it is you want the world to see you as. They want you to start doing it for yourself now, which will in turn lead you to the next steps. Right now, for you, for this career to happen, you have to become, they keep saying, loud, big. Get that personality out there, because you have so much in you, and there's more to just you. You're an actress. You're not just a dancer. So let it shine. Let that show. And they're saying start with social media. What is it that you want to be seen as? What is it that you're trying to achieve? Do it on social media now, as if you are already that. Show everyone, share with everyone who that is and what you are. That's going to help get you. They're saying that these next few months, when it continues to be slow, what you put on social media could actually be what opens up opportunity for you, connects you to the right people. So they're saying just really get into that social media and show the world who you are. That's going to take you to that next level. Yes, it's going to be slow for a few more months. January will start to look better for you for sure. Okay, there we go. I'm starting to talk faster and faster. Will my unemployment finally come through? Been 5 weeks of nothing. I'm sorry for laughing because everyone's struggling with that right now. Renee, don't worry. They're saying don't worry. I know I don't mean to say that flippantly, but that's what I'm hearing. Don't worry. Hold on. Yes, you're going to be fine. It's going to come through. But you've got some anger that they want you to deal with. There's anger that's being directed at this, but it's really should be directed at somebody or something else. I'm not saying direct your anger at someone, sorry, but someone has made you angry. Some situation has, and that anger is being redirected towards the money. The money's going to come, don't worry. Soon. They're saying first 2 weeks of September. But they want you to address, there's some anger you're holding on to. They want you to address that. You deserve to move on. Okay. Michael Christopher, what do you see around my mediumship? Thank you. So, meaning you're a medium like me? Hold on, Michael. I'm assuming that's what that means. Plus, you feel like you got a lot going on there. You children, I don't know if you already have them. It feels more like working with them. You have this unique ability to tap into, to help children, to communicate with children. There's a connection with you and kids. The work this is the work you're supposed to be doing. I feel like there's 2 jobs you're kind of working right now. And that may be day job versus this. You've got financial abundance coming your way. And it's going to allow you to do this work on a grander scale. I see a book. And I see you partnering up with someone, and you have these breakthroughs. Again, I'm seeing children. You're absolutely doing the right thing, on the right path. Actually would love to follow your work. So friend me. Kim. Kim, I'm sorry. Are you? I was trying to ask the question, but I'll say that. Are you saying a new career for me? Yes, but you aren't being honest about what it is you really want to do. For some reason, I'm seeing jewelry or bracelets or something. That might be like just metaphorical. It may not be actual that. It might be actually that. I don't know. So if you're like, what? Jewelry? It might mean, then see it more as symbolism. Yes, but there's like this career opportunity, and then there's what you really want to do. And there's this opportunity showing yourself, but you're like, this is what I really want to do. You need to just be honest about what you really want to do and work 2 jobs for a while until you can make the one you really love be your full time. But they're saying, yes, there's a career for you, but more importantly, there's something really unique you want to be doing, and you're not being honest about that. Find that first. Shire Norton, I have just one question. I need confirmation. Is it just one, or lost my soulmate years ago? Charlene, I lost my soulmate 8 years ago. Charlene, I need confirmation. Let me see if I'm getting anything. If not, I'm going to need you to email me. Charlene, you lost. Yeah, Charlene is. They're showing me a message from, like, she's from. They're showing me like air, fairies, communication. This communication has got to come between you two. Charlene, I'm assuming Charlene's a female. She's right there wanting to communicate. Hold on. Okay, this is all I'm getting. She's almost looks like a fairy. She's air energy. It comes from the flowers. Maybe that's why I was saying flowers earlier. Flowers, outside, outdoors is where you get communication coming from her. That's where you want to reside. That's where you want to get that communication. But she's right there. It's just you're not listening. You're not listening. You need to just not focus on it so much. Pull back. The communication is it's kind of convoluted, so I'm not really sure why. I would email me with the photo to get more clarity. The communication's really, yeah. We'll go to the next one. You email me. Mike Pitts. Well, the fact that you are seeking a better life right there says that that's going to be an option for you. Mike, there was a lot of things happened to you that were that we say are out of our control, but they are choices that we make before we come into body. There's lessons we want to learn, lessons we have to learn, karma we have to fill before we come into body. And so everything that has preceded you this day was because you had to make those choices before you came into body. You had to learn those lessons. You had to close the door. You had to finalize karmic relationships. Now it's about having a better life because you understand better choices, because you understand what it means to be at this, like they're saying, at the steps of hell. You understand what it means to be so far down that you don't know where up is, because you have seen that, and because you are now choosing to move away from that, you're going to be seeing shifts and changes. They're wanting you to know that this is not totally out of your control, though. In order for you to have a better life, you have to make better choices. And they're saying that you're ready for that. You understand that now. And not only that, but you are a wealth of knowledge that really should be speaking about where you've been, sharing where you've been, whether it's on social media or at groups. But you need to share your life experiences and then share with others what your choices look like now, why you make these different choices now, why life has changed for you, why life has turned around for you. Life is turning around for you not because it's a miracle, because it just happens. It's because your consciousness is decided it wants different. It wants to be different, see different. It wants this second part of your life to be more fruitful. And so because your consciousness has asked for this, you will start drawing to you, when you make conscious, better decisions, this peace. So it's not a miracle. It's you combined with spirit creating better opportunity. And then use that to serve, to help others. Yes, you have a better life. No pressure on my end here. She's asking if she's, I'm waiting on a life-changing decision. Will it work out for me? That's a lot of pressure to put on me. I can't say no. You won't watch my show anymore, right? Hold on. Let me figure this one out. Amy Swanson. You know that it's going to work out for you. You are just scared of, you're actually scared of it working out for you. You're scared of the, and you might say, no, I'm not, I'm really excited. It's really cool, blah, blah, blah. But you're actually deep down a little scared. This has been unfolding for a while. This is not without karma attached to it. That does not mean bad, and that does not mean good. What they're saying is this life-changing decision that you have made and that will work out as you want it to work out is going to have karma attached to it, because there's lessons attached to everything. Again, that's not negative. They're saying that because you're going to make this decision. It's going to start unfolding the way you see it and want it. And then there's going to be something thrown into it where you're like, why did that happen? Or how did that happen? That shouldn't have. And that's where I'm saying that's where the karma is what's going to, this strange thing that kind of jumps in the middle is going to be a lesson you have to clear and work out. You can't run from. Again, not bad. I'm making it sound big and scary and awful. It's not. It's just that. Adrian Hart. Do I have a spirit around me all the time, such as a family member or friend? Adrian Hart. There's a brother, a boy. Is it a brother from this life or a brother from another life? But there is a brother, a male, youngish, not young, like 20s maybe, around you. And yes, so to answer your question, yes. More importantly, find your daily meditation practice so you can communicate with this spirit. Because there's a lot of healing that can take place once you do it. That'll be really important. It'll be really important for you to learn how to feel and hear and see this entity, this spirit, so that you can heal and that you can have questions answered and you can move on. More importantly, they can be your guide and get you to the next steps in your life. Jessica Blackwood, will my child custody issue resolve in my favor? Let me see. I'm grabbing a different deck. Jessica. Talk about karma. This is a tough one for you, Jessica. Nope. Hold on. I'm finding where the communication is going to come from for you. Oh, there's something. Jessica, you have to change the relationship that you're in. There's a relationship that you're in. I feel maybe it's the kid's father. It's got to change. It's got to change. It's got to change. It can't be like this anymore. This isn't necessarily about it working out in your favor. This is about you seeing a clear path for your kids or your child. It's about forgiveness for you and this other party. And that's where you're going to find your peace. I'm not seeing this work against you. What I am seeing is that, let's say this works in your favor, peace has still not been met or achieved, because you have to find resolution. You have to sit down and you have to work it out with this other party. I'm assuming it's the father. Maybe it's not. You may know, but that's where true peace is going to come for you, not just having the courts rule in your favor. It's bigger than that. But I'm seeing positive cards, no negative cards. That's a loaded question. So, Kelly, you can email me and we can set up a reading if you want. Or you can just pick one specific question out of those. But yeah, that's a hard one. It's a lot going on. Kimberly, you keep seeing your grandfather in your dreams. Does he have a message for you? He's concerned. What's going on? I feel like there's something that going on in your life, whether you're doing something that's causing worry. He's worried. Why is he worried? Are you, whether you're with someone that's not right for you, dating someone that's not right for you, not great, or he's worried about you. He's worried about your relationship with he's worried about you, and something about your relationship with men, choices you've been making with them, or the one you're with. He's worried about you. That's all I keep hearing. So if you have no idea why he would be worried about you, then I'll have you email me, send me a picture of him, his name, and I can get more specific next week. But he's worried about you. Would love to see the cards as you're pulling them if possible. Card geek. Okay, I'm using like 14 decks. So I'm using this deck. I'm using this deck. And I don't read the cards traditional tarot. I just use the cards as a to kind of get my intuition rolling. So what I'm doing is I'm shuffling them, and then whatever falls out, I grab and I use those. Spirit will just, as with most readers, Spirit will pull the cards out of my hands as I'm shuffling. Okay, who's next? My question is, will my business start prospering soon, or should I go back to an ordinary job? Oh, Liz, I just want to say yes to that, because no one wants an ordinary job. Trust me. Okay, let's ask Liz Ramdeo. Is that how you say your last name? Not that it matters. Okay, Liz, my question is, will my business start prospering soon? Are you the jewelry person? Are you the one that I saw jewelry? I saw jewelry. Why do I keep seeing jewelry? Yeah, in one of the pick-up cards, I saw jewelry, I thought. Listen, first and foremost, you cannot give up. That's not coming from me. I'm not giving you some BS pep talk. You cannot give up. You're close. Is your mom involved or wanting to help or could help? Or because I'm feeling an older maternal figure that may be able to help or just support. You're at this like place where you're like, where am I going to go? What do? I don't want to. Don't stop what you're doing. These next few months are going to be slow. I'm just feeling that just till December, it's going to be slow. But you cannot give up on what you're doing, they're saying. Like, they're super clear about that. If that means you have to get a day job and do both for a little bit, you do that. But you cannot stop what you're doing. Okay. So that's two questions. So let me just start with your first one. The past few years have been filled with hardship and heartache. Will I find joy again? This is Carol Stark. Carol, it's going to be really important that you trust people. People are going to let you down. That's human nature. What never lets you down is your intuition and your ability to trust and know that we put ourselves in situations to learn, that we are supposed to make mistakes, that human beings don't mean to hurt, but they do, but they don't mean to. And they want you to start realizing your role in that. You're not a victim, and you find your power, you find your intuition. You'll start to read people better. You'll start to foresee situations that you may want to avoid, but then you'll also foresee situations that you can't avoid, and it's not because you're wrong or bad or made bad decisions. It's because it's life. And so to find joy again, you isn't just external things happening to you. They're saying that joy has to come through changes of how you view the world and how you view others. But more importantly, it's how you view yourself and the trust that you put into yourself instead of putting that trust in others. Meaning, we will trust people to be exactly who they are. It's up to you to use your intuition to know who they are. And if we trust people to be exactly who they are, that's not trusting them to be who we want them to be or who we think they are or how we want them to behave. It's knowing who that person is, knowing that they do these things and that is who they are. And you know that and see that and you accept that. It allows you to no longer feel victimized. It allows you to see power and make choices accordingly. But that joy is going to come from changing how you view others, how you view life, and how you view yourself. Most importantly, your self-esteem. You need to see yourself in a much more loving light, and then you see others in a much more loving, compassionate light. All right. I see we're at time.
At time. So my goodness, thanks to everyone for putting in your questions. Obviously, if you were waiting with bated breath or anxiously on the side of your seat or whatever other analogy you want to go with, sorry, there's only so much time that we have. However, that's why I always keep that little scroll rolling at the bottom. Be sure and send those directly to Maryam, and if additional work is needed, then she also can assist you with that as well. But thanks for everybody for joining today.
Come back tonight.
Another awesome show. And yes, come back tonight, 10 o'clock. Going to be off the chain craziness just because we've got a live paranormal investigation. And then on top of that, remote viewing the Truckee River Murder House with Patrick McQuarrie.
Patrick McQuarrie. Who Patrick McQuarrie seems to be a ladies' man. He has a lot of girls that like him, that follow him. So for those of you out there that are looking for a cute ghost hunter, no other reason, tune in at 7 o'clock.
Wow. Could there be an app for that? Is this a whole new thing?
CuteGhostHunters.com. Rick's like, I am cute. How could I set that up?
Well, I appreciate that. Now, sorry, ladies, I'm taken. So.
He's taken.
But however, my goodness, Patrick, he is the ladies' man. So,
bye.
See you, everybody. Good night.